Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, I want to give all infinite honors, praises, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, HaKadosh.
Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone who rule and teach well, and to the other Akim out and pushing the truth into the four winds. Keep pushing, Akim. All right. And this lesson we're gonna go into.
Now you might have to do it straight.
You can't.
Even when you put it straight.
The thing not gonna lift up high enough.
No, man. We gotta set it up.
Yeah,
we're gonna set it straight there on something.
Since it's live,
Look, turn it off,
No, since it's live, see if we do turn it straight, and we go see if it's gonna turn straight in the diagonal direction.
Yeah. No, we still good. We ain't going nowhere.
So what we doing?
Bring it up, give it to me. Alright, so we get it fixed like this. Let's see this is gonna switch up. Alright, that's what it is. So that's what we're gonna have to do.
Maybe brother need to hold it.
Huh?
Like it was.
I'm gonna sit down. We got beautiful minds. I can.
We do. What you trying to do, I did already. Not gonna work.
What you talking about? I do this all the time. Like you just relax. I do this all the time.
Like, you gotta. Hey, how beautiful fucking mind. Good shit. You gotta get you in there too.
Hey, bring that thing over here. The dresser. Salakia, I can. Yeah, if I'd have known it was like that, I wouldn't even start it. I didn't understand what he was saying.
What about setting it in front of the TV?
I'm about to put it right here. Right there. Sit in front of the tape, the chair. Scoot over something, brother. You scoot over so you can get in the camera, all right? Yeah.
I ain't gonna bite you.
All right, I'm gonna just be behind the camera. Y'all got it. You got it, you
right there.
You got it. I bring it up.
Shalom, Akiyam.
Shalom.
All right, we already opened up. We ain't gotta, do the opening again. But this lesson, we're going to go into. The topic is going to be Israelite fathers are the best fathers, but they are labeled to be the worst fathers. And the reason that is able to happen is because the laws, the government system, the religious system, the educational system, it teaches the opposite of what actually is, okay? You have Israelite fathers. And when I say Israelites, who am I talking about? I'm talking about the so-called Negro, the so-called Latin American, and a so-called Native American man, okay? Those are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of.
Yep.
So when you have a Jake that has gone 20 years without dealing with his children, is it because he's just a deadbeat dad? Is it because he doesn't want to pay his child support? Is it because he wants to have his own liberation and his own freedom? No. It goes back to who gave birth to his children, and it goes back to the laws of the land, and it ultimately goes back to the judges, I wouldn't call them DAs, but it goes back to the judicial system. Okay? We want to be with our children. We love our children. We understand lineage. We understand bloodlines. Okay? So that makes us love our children as much as we love ourselves. But if our children are not getting down with this doctrine, it is what it is. You understand? Now we're going to open up the scriptures with
2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices."
And what is his devices? His devices go into the legal system. His devices go into the mother has the authority over the children. His devices go into the woman is more powerful as far as raising the children versus the father. His devices go into what? You have a baby with two different women, right? And they call those what, half brothers and half sisters instead of full brothers and full sisters. We love our babies, man. We love our babies way more than we love our wives.
And if I could add,
Go ahead, brother.
if I could add, brother, remember on that Tyler Perry movie with that little young girl that was rebellious, and she was getting chastised.
Well, you say we love. You talking about in this society?
In this society,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Esau's society, because I'm not even gonna say our wives, the women that we had children with, we love our children more than the women we had children with, because the women that we had children with, they go according to what? Esau's society, and
It's good. Y'all good. Keep talking. All right, don't worry.
It goes back into Esau's society, and Esau takes up for who? He takes up for the woman, because we are living in damn, I hate to trip over my words, but this is not our language. We live in a matriarchal society. So when she says, I'm done with the daddy, he not doing right and this and that, I don't agree with it, I caught him with another woman and this or that, or he trying to teach my child to be this or that, Esau was going to take her side, and Jacob has to pay thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars to pay a lawyer and to hope that lawyer can get him custody of that child. And more than likely, I'm going to tell you the judgment that goes out. More than likely, you end up having joint custody, and even with joint custody, for the most part, you end up seeing your kids twice a month. Okay? But it goes back into every other weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going through it my goddamn self. Okay? And
quick point. I wanted to finish off. You know how we've been. Children's being raised in Esau's queendom, all right. And it had that incident on that Tyler Perry movie when that child was getting talked like chastised, whatever. She was like, "You put your hands on me, I'm gonna call 911." Get what I'm saying? 911. And she got that from her parents, because that's how she was raised.
And not necessarily her parents. She got that from the system and the government that we live under.
Exactly, because that mother was raised under that system and that government. So she puts that on the children. And the children, when they see it, they use it against, if a father come down on them, they're going to say the same thing.
And the father is teaching them right from wrong, left from right, light from darkness. And they're using these unrighteous decrees against their fathers. And they do it through their mothers, and they do it through who? Esau, Edom.
That's right.
Before I bring out the precept that I'm going to bring out, would you, Baba Kushai, give me John 8:44? Because it's all correlated.
This is John chapter 8 and verse 44. It says, "Ye are of your father the devil."
Esau, Edom, and everything that he represents. So that's going into the judicial system. That's going into the ways of life. That's going into the American way. It's a matriarchal society. Esau, Edom is the anti. I'm going to say this word just for edification purposes, but he's the Antichrist, okay? So he goes against everything that Yahweh Shem Yahushua stands for.
And it reads, it says, "And the lust of your father ye will do."
The laws, the governance, the ways of the world, the entertainment, how to raise your children. What are you raising your children up to do? What are you raising your children up to be? What are you raising your children up to look up to? What is the model that your children are following after? When they cut you out of the picture, it's not you, Jake. It's not you. And it's supposed to be. Okay? And we love our children, and we wouldn't have it no other way than us to teach our children and guide our children. Okay? But we're slaves, we're captives, and it is what it is at the end of the day. We went off in the past, and we're paying for it now.
That's right. And it says, "He was a murderer from the beginning."
That's going back to Genesis. Cain slew Abel.
And it reads, "And abode not in the truth."
He lied. Where was your brother? I don't know.
Am I my brother's keeper?
You heard me? What?
Because there is no truth in him.
He's a piece of shit.
When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own.
And the Lord made him to be that way. Man, look, at the end of the day, Esau is the epitome of all evil, and he's the father of all lies, and he's doing what the Lord created him to be. Are you being created what you're to be, Jake? You're created to be special. You're created to be set aside. You're created to be holy. Are you doing those things? Esau is actually doing better than you are doing, Jake. But at the end of the day, the number game is written in stone. 2/3 are going to fall off. 1/3 is going to make it.
Hey, look, let me bring this precept
Got it, Elder.
This Deuteronomy 4:9. Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently. The way you keep your soul diligently is conforming to the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Shem Shai, this glorious gospel, this word. All right. Our great King said, I come in the volume of the book that is written of me. And what's written in the book, that's how you keep your soul diligently, by conforming and submitting to that word. All right. And it's written, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy hearts with your minds all the days of thy life. But teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons. You see, the Lord is talking to men and telling them how to conduct and rule over their household. He said, all of the things that has happened, all right, document these words and teach them to your sons and your sons' sons. All right, and that's what Esau has taken away in these modern times. He's taken away a man's authority to teach his sons and his sons' sons the ways of Yahweh B'Shem Shai. All right, he's given our people that wine so he can look upon our nakedness and infiltrate our family unit and keep us in disarray. All right, but when you get a son who's under your possession and you teach him the truth of these scriptures, all right, that's what the Lord commanded us to do. He commanded a son to be with who? The father or the mother?
The father.
With the father. Okay? Here in America, for the most part, who are these sons getting raised by?
The mother.
By mothers. So that's disorder. In 1 Corinthians 14:33, our Lord said he's not the author of confusion. When you see a woman raising a man child, what is that? Confusion.
More.
All right? So when a woman raises a man child, guess what she puts into that child?
Feminine energy.
Feminine energy. Western philosophy. All right? What did she say? I'm the daddy and the mom.
Yeah,
all right? Everything she teaches him is totally contrary to the scriptures of Yahweh B'Shem Shai. When a man has his child, even on his carnal side, government state that men that raise their children, the child is likely not to go to prison. And when a woman raises a child, government stats say it's a higher probability that he's going to jail.
Yeah.
All right, because that's not the Most High's prescribed order. Bring out your precepts. Speak up too.
I got you. It's 2 Ezra chapter 5 and verse 8. It says, there shall be a confusion also in many places, and the
That's it right there. What you brought out?
This 2 Ezra 5.
That's it right there.
8. And the fire shall be often sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and mysterious women shall bring forth monsters.
All right, and that's a prophecy for the end of these times. Most of these dudes you see killing each other. Now y'all know what an epidemic it is now. Running in Louis Vuitton and the Gucci store and smash and grab, and going into gold stores and diamond stores and smash and grab. The vast majority of the children, the youth doing that are raised by single mothers. The vast majority of them. When you go to the parish prison, and if you do a case study, or the county, in other states it's a county, and you do a case study and write how many of you was raised by your fathers and how many of you was raised by your mothers. In that jail, in that penitentiary, 80% of them are going to say what? They was raised by who?
Their mothers.
And if not mother, who else?
Grandmothers.
Big mama. Medea. You see what I'm saying? Big mom, if not the mother, because guess what? In a lot of cases, Medea raises, because the bitches be wow. In a lot of cases, the grandmother end up raising the grandchildren. But she's no different than the mother raising them. You see what I'm saying? They teach them lies and fallacies. And men, sons do better when they're under the household of their father because they get masculine energy. Now, this is where the trick come in. This is where a trick come in. You might have a son that was raised by his mother, but then when he have a son, he's raising his son. Guess what he's still gonna get? That son, he's still gonna get
what he receives.
Well, he's still gonna get feminine energy. Because guess who that daddy is holding on to? The teachings of who? His mother. Somebody get that in Old Wives' Fables, and I think it's the Book of Timothy. I don't know exactly what it is, but just type in Old Wives' Fables. Hey, look, and when you get in the blue letter, it's gonna be Old Wives' Fables.
I got you. It's
bring it out.
It's 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 7. It says, "But refuse profane and old wives' fables, and exercise thyself rather unto godliness." He say
what did the brother say? He say refuse what?
Profane.
Profane mean it's outside of the temple. A woman raising a son is profane. All right, because guess what it tells us men to do for a fatherless child. In our law, it tells you to comfort the fatherless child. It say be a father to the son instead of a husband to the wife. Find that. One of y'all find it. I think it's in Jeremiah. It say be a father to the fatherless rather than a husband to the wife. All right, and it says refuse profane babbling. Profane means anything outside of the truth. All right, and what?
And old wives' fables.
So a wife is a what? Female. An old wives' fable. Now get that in the blue letter. What it says for old wives' fables.
1 Timothy.
Yeah.
1 Timothy 4 and 7. It says in the BLT. It says old wives' fable in blue letter.
Yeah.
In a liner.
In a linear.
In a linear. Let's get in there. Old wives. You want the old wives? It's separate.
No, just get the fables.
Fables? Okay, come. And it's
Strong's G 3454.
Muthas. It says a speech, word, saying, a narrative.
And you see, what's that speech? That narrative that a woman teaches her son.
The philosophy.
Matriarchy. Never treat a woman bad. My mama raised us. Even if a woman's a whore, you still treat her with respect.
What if she hits you?
Because she's a woman. Like, what kind of shit is that? But if a man is a bum, what's the first thing you gonna call him?
A bum.
A fucking bum. But a woman is a whore, and you can't call her a whore. See, that's an old wives' fable. What else? When she teach her son that a woman is equal to you, you have to respect her. And when you're in there, you have to let her have her say, because y'all have equal power. That's what a single mother is going to teach you. Her son. But what does the scripture teach your son? You have all power over her. She's supposed to be in a position of servitude towards you. See, those old wife fables, and women are incapable of raising sons because they teach their sons the philosophies and their belief systems. A woman cannot raise a son. Only a man can raise a man child. But guess what? A man can also raise who? A daughter.
Woman. A daughter.
A man can raise a daughter. You see? Yeah. A man can raise a daughter. All right? But a woman cannot raise a man. Because when that boy grows into manhood, what is it written? A woman should not what? Usurp authority over the man. Right. You see what I'm saying? A boy, she's always, all right, your mother is always going to have the law on her side, whereas it say, obey your mother and your father. All right? So that you have to know how to take that and rightly divide that. If your mama telling you to do some feminine shit, you don't have to listen to that shit. She cheated on you, but you cheated on her. Forgive her and take her back. Shut the fuck up. You don't tell your mama shut the fuck up, but you don't listen to that bullshit. You don't listen to that feminist philosophies that your mother teach you. But when they say obey your parents, you don't disrespect your mother. If your mother actually come cut her grass, you go cut that motherfucker. If she tell you to come lift something heavy, you come do it. Now, when she tries to philosophize with you and tell you what she think a man is, you don't have to listen to none of that shit.
Right.
Because the scriptures say a woman she don't have that type of authority over you. All right? She have the authority over you that the Lord has given us. Your sons obey your parents. That means you reverence her. You treat her with respect. But you don't have to adhere to those wives' fables that they teach their sons. Bring out your precept. You got a precept?
And it goes back into what the elder's saying. You follow her until you can't follow her. Just like with Esau Edom. You serve him until you can't serve her. So you follow her until she goes against the ordinances of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay?
And did somebody get that what I asked for? Be a mother. He had the blue letter. I thought that's what you was getting. The precept was here, I'll find it. Where it say all you had to do is put in a phrase. It's a scripture that say be a mother, be a father to the fatherless.
No, you never
rather being a husband to the mother. All right, bring out what you got, you dog.
All right, real quick, and I can still get the precept you want. This is 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man. So a man is supposed to be ahead of the woman. And if the man is ahead of the woman, the things that the man teaches the woman, she's supposed to, by law, teach the children. All right? And when she teaches the children the things that come from the man, you're going to have a nation. But when you go back to, Psalms 83:3, they're cutting us off for being a nation. When you go back to Jeremiah 17:4, they cut us off from our culture and our beliefs, which is a patriarchal governmental system that's set up from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You understand? And when Esau came into power, he is anti-Hamashiach, but the word calls the Antichrist. So anything that the Bible says, he goes totally against it. All right? He wants us to grow a beard. You can't have a certain job, unless you cut it off. Okay? And the list goes on and on and on. But our scriptures teach us that the man is the head of the family structure, and his teachings are supposed to go forth. And a woman is supposed to shut the hell up and help her man. When you go to a plant job, when you go to any kind of skilled job, you have the skilled person who's been taught. He probably went to college. He probably went to a JUCO. He probably went to a trade. But he's the skilled worker. And under him you have what? Helpers. All right? In life and in the Hebrew Israelite customs, that man is the skilled worker following Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And that woman is the helper to help him serve Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. Go ahead, Elder.
All right. Give me that 2 Ezra 5:8 again. I want to show you something.
Okay, this is 2 Ezra 5:8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be often sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and minstrels women shall bring forth monsters.
All right, the reason ministers women is bringing forth monsters is because a woman does not know how to raise a son. If a son doesn't have a father to be stern on him, all right, to rebuke him and reprove him, what does a mother do when we've seen it all our lives? When you end up beating your son, when you're getting beat, what do the females do that come around?
Don't whoop him.
Don't hit
Stop.
him.
Yeah.
Stop. You don't have to do it. Talk to him. You see what I'm saying? That and when you do that, what do you create?
A monster.
A motherfucking monster. You remember E4 they had that song? We done fucked around here and created a motherfucking monster. Y'all heard this song? Hey, but look, you create a monster when you did it. A woman does not know how to raise a son. When a boy getting a certain age, you can't let up on him. You can't. A woman is going to do a lot with boy children. Show a lot of mercy. Women, for some reason, do not show a lot of mercy to daughters. Y'all notice that?
Because they see themselves within them.
You know what I'm saying? But when it come to men, child, they show a lot of fucking mercy. They show a lot of fucking mercy, and you can't do that for a boy child. You can't do it for neither. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's how you create a monster. But if we was living according to our laws and the customs and culture that we have, when you have all these fatherless children out here, this is how we're supposed to do. Instead of us dealing with these women with children, and this is a hypothetical for a righteous nation. Bring out this precept. Okay. This is what the Lord would rather you do.
All right, I got you. This Sirach chapter 4 and verse 10. It says, "Be as a father unto the fatherless, and instead of an husband unto their mother, so shalt thou be as the son of the Most High."
And why did the Lord say he would rather you be a father to the fatherless and then go court her mother? Because when you nation building and you want a clean nation, does it matter what the fucking woman do?
No, because you got to think of the business over the individual.
You got it, brother. How is this the nation of Israel? How is that business run? Through who?
Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai and the laws, statutes, and commandments that he pushed out.
And he works it through who?
The men.
The men.
Come on.
So a fatherless son he needs to grow up and know what to do what? How the nation build. If he don't have a father to teach him the ways of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai from a manward perspective, what will happen to the nation?
It'll crumble.
It will crumble.
And it did.
If you have too many cases like that.
That's right.
So the Lord say, rather than you go deal with this woman over here, all right, no, you go teach that boy. In fact, I'm going to show you why. Get Revelation 21 and 3. You go teach that boy child that she has how to be a servant of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai.
I get it. Okay. And you want Revelation
21 and 3.
Let's get it, baby. This is Revelation 21 and 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, "Behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai is with men."
It's with men. What does a fatherless son grow up to be?
A bitch.
But no. He's a boy child. So what will he eventually grow up to be?
A man.
A man. And what kind of man is he? He's an Israelite, right?
That's right.
So every Israelite man should know what? The ways of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai.
Culture.
All right. So it would be more beneficial for a man that walks past a family where the husband has died, a husband went astray. When he walked past that house, the wife could be, stunning, very nice, very attractive, and she could be humble and contrite, right? Mm-hmm. But what would the Lord rather you do with that household?
Let a man lead it and guide it and teach it.
And teach it to who? That son.
Son.
It's about raising up that son. Now, the Lord not saying you can't go deal with that mother, but when you deal with that mother, he wants you to teach that son my ways. That's what the Lord is looking for, more than you being a wife a husband
to that wife.
To that wife. Yeah. He's looking for you to be a father to that son, because when you don't do that, what are we seeing now? Monsters. Yeah. Monsters.
No water.
Like Shaq, he a coon, but look, imagine Shaq without what do you call him, Sarge?
Yeah.
The guy that raised him?
Yeah, his stepdaddy.
Imagine Shaq without Sarge growing up in New Jersey. You probably wouldn't
know Shaq.
Growing up in New Jersey. Sarge taught him discipline from the military that he was in. He said he was hard on him. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Shaq, look at him now. He kind of weak-minded to me as a grown man. So just imagine Shaq in New Jersey, free to do what he want, and a woman raising him.
He'll probably be dead in jail.
Yeah. Him having that man that come in his life made him more of a stand-up guy than him just growing up with his mother. You got it, brother.
No, we got to finish this off.
All right, bring it out.
And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, "Behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Yahweh Hashem Yahushai shall be with them and be their power."
All right, when he said that men are the tabernacle of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, guess who else is implicated in that men? The two shall become one flesh, right? So the women are there. Because your woman is an extension of what?
You.
So the Lord only needs to talk to who?
The man.
All right? And then the woman going to get it from who?
The man.
Because the woman is a part of who?
The man.
They're what? How many flesh?
One.
One flesh. So when he said the tabernacle of the Lord is with men, he's not saying the women are not there. He's not doing away with the women.
Come on.
All right, the woman is connected to that man.
Come on.
So he just see one flesh. He see one household.
Twain become one. And like the elder said, she does have a place, but she has to respect her place. She has to magnify her office.
She has to magnify her
right?
office.
And her office is to teach the children the things that her guy, her husband, teaches her. And her husband gets it from who? Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
He gets it from his father, who gets it from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But in the kingdom of heaven, we're not gonna have to do that no more.
Right.
They say everybody would know the Lord, from the eldest to the youngest.
We talk about the new covenant.
Yeah. But right now we're not under the new covenant, so every man has to do what? Teach his neighbor.
Every man teach his neighbor
the truth.
That's right.
You see? And guess what? These little fucking degenerates out here,
gremlins,
these gremlins, they are our neighbors. Now, according to prophecy, it's fuck them. You know, but if, hypothetically speaking, if we was nation building in a righteous nation, we would round them the father the sons up, and we would teach them righteousness. You know what I'm saying?
That's right, Elder.
But that's prophecy been fulfilled. Hey, the Lord, ministers women, single mothers, that's those ministers women,
come on,
have brought forth monsters, and they don't know how to raise men. Now, I want to get on this topic. Most dudes that grow up with their daddies, all right, like that boy next door, he a BA nigga, right?
A band.
All right, but he's still a father to his son, right? Is his son ending up in the penitentiary?
No.
Is his son gonna be sticking somebody up?
No.
Now, what if his son was just left to the devices of his mother?
Parish prison.
His mother have all type of men coming in and out. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to see that, right? He's gonna go out in the streets.
He'd have been broken into this house by now.
Huh?
He'd have been broken into this bitch by now.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So a father in the equation will always be better than a fucking single mother. All right? And Israelite men love their sons.
If I could say something.
You got it, brother.
Or the boy would have became a mo, because I had a woman told me, she was like, I'm glad God didn't bless me with a son, because he probably would have been a mo.
Well, she got a lot of truth in most of these motherfuckers. Yeah. But now you got to fight your precept.
Bring it out.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 21 and verse 18. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, all right, going into what the elders going into, okay, you know, because these, you know, men, young men are being raised by women, all right, and also you could liken this into a man that don't have this truth, all right, that don't know how to raise his son into the righteous manner, all right, in the righteous direction, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them. All right, you know, a rebellious son going out to the right, to the left. He's disregarding his father. All right, and he disregarding his mother. Like, hey man, going against his mother and his father. Verse 19. Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on.
No. That's going into the kingdom. We're not even gonna bring that out. That's going into the kingdom. But your
said, I liken it to
you got it out.
Sons on this side. That's not hearkening unto.
That was the law he was reading, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What you saying?
But it doesn't apply to Babylon for the most part. But he can still bring it out.
No, that's not going in the kingdom. All right. This is what you gotta understand. That's our laws. We have a law for any kind of situation.
Right.
Right. These fucking gremlins out here supposed to be put to death according to the law of Moses. All right. The law is being made void according to Psalms 119. Right. All right. In the kingdom, guess what? We ain't gonna have to use that law.
It's gonna be in our inward parts.
Nobody's gonna go off.
Kind of.
You're not gonna have to put a wayward son to death. Really, in that law, where it say put a shameless son to death, it's gonna be fulfilled during Jacob's trouble.
On this side,
it's gonna be fulfilled. If you're not under grace, what are you under?
It's the law.
The law. You break one. You're guilty of breaking one law.
You're breaking all.
You broke them all. You see what I'm saying? So guess what? The Lord came to redeem them who were under law. Get that Galatians 4:4.
This is Galatians chapter 4 and verse 4. But when the fullness of the time was come,
when the prophecy was fulfilled,
Yahweh sent forth his son,
Come on, 2,000 years ago.
made of a woman made under the law.
All right, a woman made under the law means a man popped her, skeeted in her, and she got pregnant. It wasn't no immaculate conception or some divine intervention where she got pregnant without penetration. All right, bring it out.
Verse 5 says,
Hey, I could bring out the law.
Huh?
I could bring out the law without taking away. No, if you take you that long, just keep going, brother. Keep going.
Bring it out.
This is Galatians chapter 4, verse 5. To redeem them that were under the law.
All right, he came to redeem those under the law. Now, you get Romans 8:1. I always got to get Romans 8:1.
I got you.
This is how you get redeemed if you were under the law.
This is Romans 8:1. There is, therefore, now no condemnation to them which are in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai.
If you're in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, you're taking advantage of grace. So you're protected from what? The penalty of death. You're what? Exempt from judgment.
That's right.
All right? Bring it out. And he say he came to redeem who? Them that were under the law. But that's only a remnant. Bring it out, Yedaya.
Who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit.
All right, if you're going off, you're walking after the flesh. 2/3 of our people are fleshly, carnal men. All right? Now you keep reading your Kanai.
And it reads, and it says that we might receive the adoption of sons.
All right, so if you're not a son, what are you?
A bastard.
You're a bastard. All right? If you're a bastard and you're not a son, somebody give me Revelation 22 and 22. Get in 22 where it say and outside of the temple is the profane, the nigger, I think it's go down to 14. What does 14 say?
14, it says, Blessed are they that do this commandment, that they might have right to the tree of life.
Keep reading.
And may enter it through the gate into the city.
All right, now it's about to go into who's without the city, right?
You want 15.
Yeah.
Bring it out.
It says, verse 15, for without are dogs.
So 2/3 of our people are what?
Dogs.
And really that's the other nations. But our people have the mindset of who?
The other nations.
John 8:44.
All right, so they're their father, the devil. Biologically, they're Israelite, but mentally, they're what?
Dogs.
They're dogs. They're no different than the heathen. So these fatherless children, these monsters that these ministress women are bringing forth, all right, they're outside of the temple. They're profane, all right, and they're not exempt from judgment. So what does that say about that law you brought out? About smiting the wayward son. This scripture is letting you know that it's going to be fulfilled. Bring it out. These dogs are getting judged. Keep reading.
And it says, and sorcerers.
Come on.
And whoremongers.
Come on.
And murderers.
Come on.
And idolaters.
These youngsters that we talking about, and not just the youngsters, the old too. Are they not whoremongers?
Yep.
All right. And we talking about the proper word. Talking about how they pimping. All right. Are they not murderers?
Come.
All right. Sorcerer, you know, a drug dealer is a what?
A sorcerer.
A sorcerer.
Yeah.
All right.
Say something.
Bring it out.
Well, man, what rap artist, so-called legendary Louisiana rap artist we was talking about today, and we was like, he was a piece of shit. He should have been put down, and he had no business being called legendary because of the things he was pushing.
Yeah.
That nigga Soulja Slim, man. He was a dope dealer. He was a murderer.
A sorcerer.
He was a sorcerer. Okay? He was, let's be honest, he was all of the above, man. And our people...
He didn't too much talk about whoremongering, but he was definitely an adulterer.
he had a son called Slim Pimpin', huh?
Oh, he did?
Huh?
I'm not positive.
I may be wrong. I thought in his early days he had a son called Slim Pimpin'. I could be wrong. But let's just say he was all of those things but that. Okay? He was a piece of shit. And our people look at me and you like we ain't shit, and they call him a legend. You got it, Elder?
Right.
Yeah. And guess what? He's a monster. He's a monster
from Mistress Woman.
From a minister woman, and he didn't grow up with his father. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's outside of the temple, so the law has full effect for. And what the law did to him, that wayward son that you brought out in Leviticus,
he got put to death.
He got put to death.
Straight up.
He got put to death. So guess what is in full effect, Akim?
That law.
That penalty of the law. If you didn't take advantage of the grace, you all right. The law can't. Somebody get John 1:17.
I got him.
John 1:17.
Okay. Big John, right?
Yeah.
John 1:17. For the law was given by Moses.
All right. The law is given by Moses. What is sin? Transgression of the law. All right. So when you transgress the law, you're a sinner. And what's the wages of sin?
Death.
Death. Bring it out.
But grace and truth came by Yahushua.
So if you reject Yahushua and don't take advantage of the truth given and the grace given, guess what you're under?
The law.
You're under the law. And the law brings forth death. The letter brings forth death. So all of these fucking degenerate imbeciles, and they don't have to be just doing something like we call out the most vile of them. No, the look PlayStation little nigga, the Uno playing little
Jesse
nigga,
Jackson, El Sharpton, Martin Luther King,
the little weirdo little nigga, all right, the Urkel type little nigga, they monsters too. All of them. We not just talking about the severe ones that's drunk off of gangster rap. We talking about the ones that's going to college. That's talking about making some of themselves. All them the dudes that join them sororities that's going to college and shit, they monsters too. They be sodomizing women. Them dudes be homos, man. They be in all type of manner of wickedness.
I can say something on that.
And guess, according to this society, what are they? So-called law-abiding citizens. So monsters come is different levels to that
forms.
shit.
It's different forms.
Different forms of monsters. Come
Can I
on.
land back?
Yeah.
All right, and to land back off the elder, he's totally correct. Now we emphasize on these niggas that stand out, like these killers, these murderers, these dope dealers. But we can't leave this out. Watch this, and I always like to bring this out, man. You know what I mean? Because it's the truth. You could be riding down the street, right, as an Israelite. You can get pulled over by a black cop. You can get arrested by that black cop and be received by a black jailer. You can get bonded out by a black bail bondsman. You can be received by a black defense attorney. When you go to court, you can be prosecuted by a black DA. You can be judged by a black judge. And you can also, if you take it to trial, you can be judged by a majority black jury. You understand this? These are all
the B system.
Yeah, bring it out, Elder.
No, you got it.
It's the B system. And these are people that were brought forth by who? Mysterious women. They're not lawbreakers. They're not burglars. They're not dope. They're not what soldiers say? Lawbreakers, kidnappers, murderers, and burglars. You understand? These are law-abiding citizens, but they are Soldier Slim's brothers. Okay. At the end of the day, Soldier Slim was doing the work of Esau Edom, and on the other hand of that, these 9-to-5ers are also doing the work of Esau Edom, because his enterprise flourishes when you do the things that you do. Okay? You can't get around it, man. Esau put out laws, statutes, and commandments. Not prophecies. He put out laws, statutes, and commandments to try to match arms with Yahweh Hashem Yahweh's laws, statutes, and commandments. And that's where the word Antichrist comes about.
Yeah, fill his own belly.
You heard me? And to keep his enterprise going opposite of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. And that's why he's called our accuser. When you go to Revelation, I forgot what chapter that is, but it says, the accuser of our brethren has fallen. He's the accuser of our brethren because he understands the law, statutes, and commandments. And going into Judah, he also understands when he separates us from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh, he got us. And that makes him a good devil. And that makes everybody that follow him meet for the fire to come. Our people, 2/3 of our people are nothing different than blue-blooded Edomites, man. You are working the system that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh has to come back and destroy. Me and this brother can't do it. We can't destroy it. We can condemn it, and we can tell you about it through the scriptures. We can't pick up no M16s. Hey, Biden said some very, very prophetical shit not too long ago, less than a month ago. He said an M16, an AK-47 can't take down the government. It has to be, what's the name of those fighter jets, brother? It has to be a F-16, a F-22. I ain't never ran into no Jake that flying no goddamn planes, man. No fucking fighter jets, man. Okay? Yahweh Shah has to come back and be that rock that smashes the toes and the feet of this beast, man. Or if you want to bring it, you got it out. Or if not, I got some more. You got it out. All right. Give me Proverbs 1:8, Baba Kasha.
This is Proverbs chapter 1 verse 8. And it reads, "My son, hear the instructions of thy father."
My son, hear the instructions of thy father. Your father is going to teach you the things that was taught to him by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He's going to teach you who you are. He's going to teach you who you're not. He's going to teach you who the other nations are. He's going to teach you who the nations are not. The other nations, well, fuck the other nations. Esau Edom is flying your flag, Jake. And you okay with it. Esau Edom is over there in our land, Jake. And you okay with it. And you label him and you call him the children of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You call him the children of Judah. And then you look at your own people and you call them pieces of shit. You call them the bottom of the barrel, man. And that comes from John 8:44. That comes from the wine of the world. That comes from you wanting to assimilate and congregate and integrate into the other nations, starting with Esau Edom. And he did a damn good job of being the devil that the Lord created him to be. Man, the Lord is perfect, man. Father, I'm going to straight up tell you, when you created Esau Edom to be what he is and to put us in the subjection he did, you couldn't have did no better, man. And that's why the men of the Lord and that remnant is standing up the way that we're standing up, because we're tired of it and we understand it. And we understand that we got a weak, pale bastard ruling over us that doesn't have the natural ability to do the things that he's doing. And we understand it through the spirit. And that's why we're trying to get our house in order. And our house represents what? Our women, our children, our brothers, our younger brothers that come into this thing, man.
And ourselves. And
the laws, statutes, and commandments have to be pushed out and permeated through the earth, even if it's not followed by the majority of the word. The prophets have to speak the things that the prophets before us have spoken before the Lord can come back and fairly judge his earth. Don't forget, the Lord said this himself. The fourth beast was set up and made to rule in his world, man. Right. Yep. Give me your prayer for Zari 1-9, Baba Kasha. To show you who we're dealing with, man. And Pop's chess plan, it was perfect, man. We're not complaining against the plan. We're complaining against the goddamn devil that's sitting on top of us. And we understand why he's on top of us as well, man. But we still have to sigh and cry. Because we living in the flesh and we living in this world that we know is off as fuck, man. We get with the Akim, we get with the brethren, it be heaven, bruh.
I got you a quick precept.
Go ahead, Elder.
This Proverbs 4 verse 1. Hear ye children, the instruction of a father, and attending to no understanding. See, that's the Lord's prescribed order. A man teaching his son. Over here in America, in these European nations, over here in the West, that's a satanic vibration where a woman is following head of household. All right? That's satanic. But over here in a wicked, perverse world that you grew up since you were birthed, you come out breathing lies. You think that's normal, but it's off. All right? For I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my law. We're supposed to teach our sons the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. All right? Not the mother, but the father. For I was my father's son. Why he didn't say I'm my mother's son? All right? He said I was my father's son.
Come on.
Tender and beloved in the sight of my mother. Why was he tender and beloved in the sight of his mother? Because his father raised him the right way, showed him the right way.
Yeah, that same mindset as his father.
You see what I'm saying?
And his mother loved his father.
And his mother loved his father.
That's right.
She was like, he's just like his what?
His daddy.
His father. Okay? He taught me also. He didn't say my mama taught me. He said he taught me also. My father taught me and said it to me. Let thy heart, thy mind, retain my words. We're supposed to put our philosophies, our customs, our culture, the way we do things into our sons. Mm-hmm. Our sons shouldn't be looking at like I feel I failed when I raised my son and my son still want to wear skinny jeans. Now that's on a lower level. I want my words to be more to my son when I straight tell my son, number moles wore skinny jeans, son. All right, that's the fashion of the day. But real men, they like their nuts to hang, man. Yeah. They not into wearing tight shit where you can't even run in them. You know, that's a feminine vibration. But the youth still want to do what? Be cool.
They gotta follow young boy.
Yeah, and Esau, and that's strategic. Esau did case studies.
He set up young boy.
Esau has done case studies about peer pressure. Here in America, peer pressure is just strong as, or maybe even stronger than what a parent's influence.
It is stronger, elder.
You see what I'm saying? And Esau knows this. So a father, when you have a son that's under your power, man, you have to pray for him. Because guess what? You have to go to work in America, right?
Yes.
So you're working
8 to 10 to 12.
8 to 10 hours a day. Guess where your child is them 8 to 10 hours?
School.
They're under the devil's supervision.
And his mother.
Yeah, his mother's just like the Esau.
That's right.
All right? So you have to tackle teaching your son in the spirit, because Esau, when your child goes to school, guess how he want to be around his peers?
Cool.
He wants to be cool. He wants to be respected. He wants to be looked at as in a light. And Esau takes advantage of that pressure. Children have killed themselves because of what? Peer pressure. Mm-hmm. They've killed themselves. So it's a monster. And Esau knows it's a monster, and he used it to his advantage. So when we're teaching our sons and teaching them the truth of the scriptures, you also got to pray fast and anoint your son with oil. Because guess what, your son, his little young impressionable mind going? He going to this devil. Because what happens if we don't send their asses to school?
You're going to jail.
And what they're going to do with your son?
They're going to take him.
They're going to take him.
And he's going to be worse off than prior.
Yeah. All right. And he said, he taught me also and said unto me, let thine heart retain my words and keep my commandments and live. And that's what we have to push in our sons. Look, you're going to die. The guy you're looking up to, that skinny jean wearing NBA young boy,
King Von,
they're going to all end up just like King Von and what is his name? RBGK Duck, how you say it? FBG Duck. All of them are going to have the same end. In fact, some of them you think are cool, real soon tapes are going to come out of those guys getting sodomized. The Lord is going to embarrass. He's not going to kill some of them. He's going to embarrass some of them.
And make them want to kill themselves.
And make them want to come. Right? Everything done in darkness is going to light. Go to Mark 4 and 22. Real fast.
Yeah. All right, I get it. What you want, brother?
Mark 4 and 22.
Mark 4 and 22. For there is nothing. Hey, it's the same exact thing as Luke 12 and 2. For there is nothing hid which shall not be manifested. Neither was anything kept secret, but that it should come abroad.
Because, hey, look on some shit. We always say, bring out that scripture, John 8 and 44, you of your father the devil, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the lust of your father you would do, right?
Yes.
But let's break it down to another level. These children that's drunk off of hip-hop culture, their fathers are these rappers. They dress like how they see the rappers dress. Mm-hmm. They even talk like how they see the rappers talk. Those girls that we see every day, they're going to wear whatever they see Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Doja Cat, all of them thoughts wear. Whatever they see them wearing, that's what they're going to wear. Whatever nails, how they see them celebrities do their nails, that's how they're going to do their nails. Man, before these rappers, who was the first people to start wearing colored wigs? Rap bitches. Charlie Baltimore and Lil' Kim.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you're right. Charlie Baltimore was the first I can remember.
And Lil' Kim, all right? Whatever these celebrities do, they're going to do, all right? And I'm asking the youth out here, when the celebrities start, they tried to pull it off with Lil Uzi Vert, but it didn't hit hard enough. It's going to happen. They're going to make these dudes, they're going to come in the form of kilts. They're going to try to make the boys wear dresses. Yeah. That's going to be the next fashion.
And be cool and thugging wearing a dress.
Yeah, they're going to try to have them be cool and thugging wearing dresses. All right? And that's your father are these rappers. The youth fathers of these rappers. And what does the rappers rap about? Murder, murder, kill, kill. And what do the youth do? They do the lust of their father. Because the so-called white man is not out here telling them literally to go out here and whack each other. Now, we understand he controls the temperature in the room. But it's these rappers. That's your father. They hairdos. The first one I seen start wearing them hairdos is the dudes from Miami. All of them wear the same hairdos wherever you go, right? The look, if it's not the dreads, it's the little twist that they wear.
And it's majority dreads.
No, a lot of them get their hair done like with the twist too now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they not dreads.
2-strand twist.
The 2-strand twist. Mm-hmm. That's a great multitude of them doing that. Where did they get that from?
Rap.
The rappers. The dudes down in Miami and
Chicago.
And Chicago and NBA Youngboy and Fredo Bang. All of them have the same hairdos. So those are your fathers. Now when we looking at what comes down the pipe, what end up happening to all those rappers?
Dead, jail,
and broke. And they end up broke too.
Yep. And they end up selling noodles and shit.
Yeah. Like Master P.
I said what I said.
Yeah, he don't got all that cake. Now you walk around with cereal in your hand.
And let me say something about this, man. Me and the elder behind the camera, we're a year apart, all right? And our parents did as best that they could do with us, and we come from a 2-parent household. But I'm gonna straight up tell you who raised us, man, our teenage years. Birdman and Master P. And when I say Birdman,
I say the Hot Boys more than that.
Hear me out, Elder Baba Kasha. Birdman and Master P. Master P represented No Limit Records, and Birdman represented Cash Money Records, and anything that came under them ultimately led to them. All right. Now, me personally, when I jumped off the porch, I was a No Limit motherfucker, man. Okay? Now, my whole life, no matter how much I don't want to admit it, I followed behind my older brother. My older brother took me from No Limit and introduced me to Cash Money, you heard me? And it was a goddamn nightmare, the things that we went through because of the things that we were listening to, man.
Yeah.
And we survived it.
Yeah.
Man, we was ready to kill motherfuckers, man. In the name of being cool.
Yeah.
Man, I was 15 years old, a goddamn green-ass duck, driving to fucking school with a pistol in my goddamn armrest, ready to kill somebody, and ready to go to fucking jail, man. A fucking kid, man, would have went to jail and got fucked over, you heard me? No. I ain't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that bullshit. The Lord protected me from these things. Mm-hmm. The things that I experimented with was because of BG.
Exactly. Those are really the youth's father. They are monsters, and they're bringing forth more monsters. These kids not looking at the state senators and all of them are the one passing the legislation.
And they off too, but go ahead.
They off, but the youth not looking at them.
No.
Now the senators want this to happen. They want them to be in 1-parent homes, headed by a woman, looking at MTV, YouTube videos all day. But they're not doing it literally. They put that puppet up there. So they're emulating a monster. When you're of your father when you do what? Somebody give me John 14 and 15.
I got you. Oh, what you got out? What you want, Elder?
John
14.
And now you get John 8:31.
14 to 15. I know.
All right, you hold it. Get John 8:31 first.
I got you. This is John chapter 8 and verse 31. Then said Yahushua to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed.
All right, so you are your father's son when you do what? Obey your father's commandments. You could be living in a house with your daddy all the fuck you want. If you're not obeying him, doing what he said, telling you, you're not of your father. If he tell you don't wear no skinny jeans, don't put no earring in your nose and all that color your hair, all that freakazoid shit, that fucking freakazoidism that these youngsters doing, as soon as you leave your daddy's house, you go do that, you're the son of whoever you're emulating. Whoever you're emulating, where you looked at it and you think it's cool, that's your pappy. Mm-hmm. That's your father. Get that John 14 and 15.
And it's written in red, man. This is John 14 and 15. If you love me, keep my commandments.
All right, and the word love is synonymous with obey. If you obey me, you're going to do what I tell you. All right, that's an act. What does John 1:22 say? Don't only be a hearer of word, be doer of the words. Love is an action word. You show you love me by your action. You show me I'm your father by how your actions, not by your words. You know? And that's what you learn when you come to the truth. Because in this world, love towards the Father is taught by the precept of men. All right, in this world, the people that tell you they love you, somebody give me that love working no ill toward. Is that 1 Corinthians 13 and 11?
I'll grab it for you. I know exactly what you want though.
Yeah, I think it's 1 Corinthians 13 and 11.
I'll be telling myself I need to know this shit off the top of my head, man.
That's not it.
I don't know. I'm telling you, I'm about to get you. I know what you want. I know exactly what you want. 1 second, brother. It's not my device, but I got you. Okay, this is Romans 13 and 10. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor.
Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. So therefore, the people that you call family, the people that call you family, and say that they love you in this life, all right, I'm going to tell you my life. A stranger that do me something is expected.
Expected.
It's expected.
Yes.
It's expected.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? A stranger that breaks in your car and robs you blind, that's expected. All right? But your son doing it, your sister doing it, your brother doing it, your mother doing it, your father doing it, that's
your neighbor.
Your neighbor doing it. All right? You're not expecting them to work ill towards you. And they say, love worketh no ill to his neighbor. The people that hurt you the most and do the most ill things to you in this life is the ones that tell you they love you. Them the ones that do you the worst in this life.
And you expect them to love you.
And you're expecting them to love you. Them the ones that talk about you more than anybody. Your family members talk about you more and backbite you more than your enemies in the streets. I'm telling you, that's a fact. You got it.
To back you up, going into future prophecies, the scripture says, your enemies shall be of what?
Your own household.
Your own household. It's written.
Mm-hmm.
It's written.
Yeah.
So to not veer off the topic, man, some of us brothers are fortunate to have our sons, man. All right? And you sons, you young men that's coming to the truth and you got fathers that's teaching, you obey your father. Somebody give me Sirach 30 and 1. You obey your father with fear and trembling. And when you obey your father with fear and trembling, you're obeying Yahweh Shema Shai with fear and trembling. And when you don't obey them, you're going to die. We give it straight up. We don't get sugarcoat shit. All right? Bring it up.
This is Sirach, Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse 1. He that loveth his son causes him off to feel the rod.
And off goes into often.
Often. All right? And that's how men raise their sons, man. And the older your son get, the less you supposed to have to what?
Put that rod on.
Put that rod
deal
on.
with him. That's right, elder.
You get him down when he's young. All right?
It starts at home and it spreads
But a lot of us, we didn't get to this truth that had kids. Our kids were kind of big when we first came into the truth. So that's why you need prayer and fasting for the Lord to put a humble, contrite spirit on your son. Because, hell, before we came to the faith, I was smoking weed in front of my son. What my son gonna grow up to do when he see me smoking weed in front of him?
He's gonna do the same.
He's gonna do the same shit. You see what I'm saying?
Come on.
I was doing all type of manner of wickedness in front of my son before I came to the faith. Bring it up.
And to back you up, you be saying some shit that I be wanting to lay on back off for. But we, as men of the Lord, as hopeful men of the Lord, we was in the world longer than we was in this truth, man. And the things that our sons saw us doing this truth, they need to emulate. Salakia, the things that our sons saw us do in the darkness, they need to emulate the things that they see us do in the light, man. And at the end of the day, if they don't, it's to their own detriment. And according to Ezekiel the 14th chapter, you're here for your soul salvation. I'm here for my soul salvation first and foremost. But I'm not only here just for it. Okay? Now, I'm also here to try to deliver my children. But when you get to a certain age, sons, daughters, you have to do the things.
You're accountable for what the fuck
your
you do.
own shit.
There you go.
You're accountable.
Yes,
In fact,
you
when you 12 and older, when you get 12 and older, you're accountable for all your actions.
Puberty.
Yeah, you're once you old enough to bear a child and make a child. Because in the nation of Israel, when a boy was able to feed,
reproduce,
not just reproduce, all right, when he was able to run a whole farm without the help of his dad.
Yeah, kind of.
Run a household.
All right, so some boys probably would have to wait till 14 because they probably couldn't pick up 100 pounds of hay.
But that girl that started at 12.
That girl can start at 12. She can do shit. She can start right away. But a boy, he might not have his strength enough to deal with that wild, the ass, the donkey. He might not be able to, you know what I'm saying? We had donkeys tilling the ground, you know? You gotta be able,
they call it man strength.
yeah.
That man strength the fuck up,
that man strength. Yeah, so a boy, even though he could bear a child, we're not sending our boys off till we know he can do what? Everything on that farm. Everything that it takes to do on that farm. Once we see, all right, he can handle that. And boy, he sure can handle that thoroughbred. Oh man, my son can put the saddle on. Oh, he know how to handle that big bull.
And that saddle heavy.
Yeah.
I know, because I know. My daddy taught me.
He's picking up this big 50-pound bag of horse feed and shit.
Like it's nothing.
Like it's nothing, throwing it on. All right, it's time for him to get the fuck out of my house. He can handle he can handle his own self. It's time for him to start a family. Guess what? That boy will be 13 or 14. People that, like, all right, my 12, 13, and 14, my 12 years old, I could have been gone. I was 6'2" when I was 12. And probably about 175 pounds.
Can I add on that?
And I had my man strength.
Now his 12 was my 16, man.
Yeah, that's real. That's real talk.
Between guys and
that's real talk,
man.
That's right. When I was 12, I could have been out the house. Because I had the strength, and I was fucking at 12. I started fucking at 12 years old. All right? So, but at 12, I grew fast. I think I hit puberty when I was like 10 years old. You know when you start jacking off and shit, you're a youngster, you know what I'm saying? I was young. I hit puberty fast. So a 12-year-old in the ancient world, if you got the strength enough to handle the hogs, the cows, the chickens, pick up heavy stuff, till the ground,
deal with controversy, the wolves, the thieves.
Your dad is teaching you that. All right, you're old enough to run a farm. It's time for you to go get a farm, and you will be a full-grown what? Man.
With your own shit.
So at 12 years old, when you sin, your daddy don't have nothing to do with it.
Your daddy don't go to the temple for you, man.
Your daddy ain't going to the temple for you. You have to go for yourself. All right? So a 12-year-old in this society, ain't nothing changed. We trying to get back to eating the old way. You're accountable for all your actions. So you have somebody telling you right from wrong, and you're not taking heed. All right? That's why, and look, little kids are getting knocked off, right?
They are.
8, 9 years.
You got a 13-year-old got knocked off right there in Sharon Hills last week. He was 13.
Yeah, but he could take his lick in the eyes of the Lord.
I'm agreeing.
That's a man.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you got kids that's under that getting knocked off.
I got you.
But for the most part, is little kids under 12 just getting knocked off when we were looking at the...
You don't read that.
It happens.
It's a murder-suicide.
Yeah, it happens. Mm-hmm. But when we look at these murders, it's them niggas, them teenage niggas on up.
Yep.
We'll say for about
12 and up.
About 15 to 28, right? And we really go to 15 to 32.
I really want to say 15 to 40.
You right, bro. About 15 to 40.
Man, they got niggas my age still getting their ass knocked off.
Yeah.
And they beat with motherfuckers in their 20s. I was like, what the fuck are you with him for?
Yeah. Come on.
The niggas that got hit up the other day at the Waffle House on Segan.
Yeah.
The older guy was 38. The younger guy was in his 20s. Why are you with him?
Yeah.
Y'all not even related.
Yeah.
But y'all got the same what?
Mindset.
Given to you by who?
Esau.
No,
No,
given
the
to you by Esau via Eve.
Yeah, it's look. Yeah,
via Eve,
Rap game.
via Eve, via hip hop.
Yep.
Cause Eve not telling them to go out and kill. Well, I ain't gonna lie, man, these ghetto bitches, mama will.
Well, for the most part, what you were saying, right? The ghetto households, you're not raised to go out. For the most part,
Yeah.
you're not raised to go out there and be killers, robbers, and drug dealers. For the most part, they try to tell you to follow white Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, to follow the laws, to go be a preacher, a lawyer, a judge.
Yeah.
That's what the most are taught.
Yeah.
But that grip that the world has, that integration, that assimilation, that Martin Luther King, let's all be together, the so-called black boys and the so-called white girls and all this and that, you're going to learn from these people, man.
Can I make a point out?
You got it, man.
All right, this is a precept that the brother brought out on the comic board. It was a war. Shalom, a war.
Shalom, brother.
This irate. Verse chapter 25 and verse 24, it says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Now the point is, like, Eve not telling them to go out and kill, but it still all go back to Eve. Because why do niggas do what they do? They do it for Eve because they want all the women, they want all the shine, the fame, the respect. It all go back to Eve at the end of the day. Niggas do what they do.
Ain't no shining without women. Is there such thing as shining without women in it?
Why did Jake put on jewelry? Why did Jake got 32-inch rims?
Everything.
It's no such thing as stunting and shining without a woman in the equation.
I'm not trying to stunt and shine in front of you.
Hey, what they call it? They call that high testosterone.
Me and Taz had a dialogue about that the other day.
I don't care what you think about me.
I don't give a hell what you think.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to woo you and manipulate you to get you in, you know. We try to do that to the women. I don't care what a dude think. You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about even in the world, huh?
Yeah.
Like, fuck what you
These dudes is robbing, killing, and stealing to look good in front of women, man.
Can I say something else too?
Yeah.
And it's real fucked up, and I hate it. When these women put on their fake hair, when they put on those umbrellas, when they put on 80 layers of mascara, they're not doing it for us. They're doing it to shit on other Eves. So the chicken has definitely come home to roost. The things that they do don't even make sense. They're not even trying to catch Jake anymore. They're trying to shit on.
They trying to get Jake. When they do that shit, they trying to set Jake up for a trap to get him on child support.
They're trying to beguile him.
They doing it for it. But I just don't. The umbrella shit don't even look good. Sometimes
it make you look like a transvestite to me.
Yeah, the color wigs and the blonde hair, that shit don't even look good, bro. Now sometimes a bitch might have y'all know they had a little thing, the side hand that look wavy and curly. And
the little edges.
The little edges. That should be fake too. Y'all know that shit? Yeah, that should be fake. And sometimes they'll have on a wig the color of their skin and they'll look halfway decent. You know what I'm saying? But the color and the long nails, bright colored, man, all that shit look bad, bro.
Can I say something else?
Yo.
I'm gonna tell you like that comedian, I think that was Cat Williams, but don't quote me on it, man. Man, like Cat Williams said, man, you think Jake gonna turn down a piece of box behind natural hair? You don't got your lace front ain't right. I'm not gonna fuck you.
Yeah.
Your nails ain't long enough. Man, bro. Man, we don't give a fuck about that puss. Hey, we don't care about those types of things, man. Hey, for the most part, like you say, they are trying to attract Jake. Okay? They are. But let me tell you about Eve. Eve is no different than Jake. They are going and competing after the same sex. They just want to do better than who? As long as I do better than you. You heard me?
Yeah.
That's fucked up, right? And I'm going to tell you something else. The things that we hold in high regard in our nation, the other nations look down on it. They vilify it. They ostracize it. Soulja Slim, Tupac Shakur, Lil Wayne, King Von, they couldn't flourish and they couldn't be great in any other nation outside of Yashiala, man.
I was looking at a guy on the short the other day, and he was like, why do black people call guys that grew up in suburbia and middle-class homes sellouts? He say, he said people call me Carlton Banks, like it's a an insult. And he was like, why the fuck is that? He's like, why would I want to go over here where everybody's killing each other, drug infested, war torn places to talk about I'm going through the struggle,
ducking bullets?
And he say my parents went through the struggle, and they went and did what they had to do to get. So I was born and don't have to go through the struggle. And he say, why should I want to embrace where I came from? Ain't nobody trying to embrace that shit. We did what it took to get out of that shit, but I'm not raising my son to be like that's cool over there and over there where they're killing each other, selling each other dope and robbing each other. That something's cool about. No, that's degeneracy. That's trash.
Right.
All right. And I am a witness that I used to get teased. They used to call me when I go over there by my auntie house in the hood. They were like, they'll call Annie Glenn, they'll call us the Huxtables. Me and my brothers, the Huxtables. Like, so fucking what? But I was so weak-minded, I wanted to be like, I'm from the hood. You see? And I wasn't embracing how I was growing up because it was demonized by the people. Because it started when my parents fucked up and listening to my beckoning. I went to private schools my whole life. And I was like, man, I want to go to school with my people. I want to go to school with people I can identify with. And the worst thing my parents let me do was go to that fucking public school system. That's when I started smoking weed and getting that degenerate mindset. I did not have it before they let me integrate. All right? With the degenerates in the public school system. The niggers. You see what I'm saying? And we're getting our sons and all the young men that subscribe to this doctrine out of that mindset. Man, we are building up a nation of kings, priests, aristocrats, governors, rulers, man. Yeah, man.
Thinkers.
Men that carry themselves in dignified manners. Not no fucking serf or no fucking peasant.
Pull your goddamn pants up.
Pull your fucking pants up, man. Matter of fact, man, them skinny ass jeans, don't come around me wearing that shit, man. A man that wear, in my realm, a man that wears skinny jeans, that's a crime punishable by death. Anything degenerate. We gonna have some draconian laws in my realm. A bitch wearing colored weave. We gonna hang her upside down in the courts, man. Bring it out, bro.
Hey, bro, and like, man, you grew up the same way. We only a year apart, so the things that you say, bro, it had me having to land back off of you, And let me say this, if you was a millionaire, Core, and your son didn't have to work and he didn't have to struggle, and you gave him things, you know what they would call your son? Your daddy gave you that. You ain't have to hustle for that. You ain't have to work for that. But can I tell you something? When they look at Prince Harry, when they look at what's that bitch that just died out? Queen Elizabeth. When they look at Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
When they look at the children,
the Bushes.
When they look at the Bushes, why they don't say that?
Why they don't say that about them?
Why they don't have that same energy?
Right.
Yeah. Who they was saying?
Hey. That was a wild boy.
He was a wild boy.
I ain't lying. He was a wild boy.
Hey, but a lot of them are like that. That depends. Like even when you
But is it off?
No, it's not off. A king wants his son to do what? Precede his throne.
Who was the richest man of all of history, Akim? King Solomon. Who was his daddy? What did he have to do to inherit all the riches?
Nothing.
Now let's just say that he didn't have to do nothing. But his prayer to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, it ultimately gave him that. Well, praying for wisdom and knowledge. But for the most part, did he get it out the mud?
No.
Did he have to work?
No.
He was groomed
to be a king from
Come
birth.
on, man.
To be royal from birth.
But when your daddy gives you a good thing, it's a problem.
It's a problem.
But when the heathen gives his son a good thing, guess what?
Nothing said.
Nothing said.
That's the curse.
Bitch ass out my face, man.
That's the curse.
And I got that. Hey, we got that scripture. Let's get it.
What a man work for. He built up his
foundation.
Oh no.
Setting them up.
Hold on. I got a precept. No. Finish reading what I had you in this Sirach. You still over there?
Yeah.
Keep reading. It's gonna go into that.
This is Sirach, Ecclesiastes chapter 30, verse 1. And he that loveth the son causes him oft to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end. Verse 2, he that chastises the son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. Verse 3, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
He that teaches his son grieveth the enemy. So the people that say that, what are they to you? Enemies. Our people are our enemies. 2/3 of our people are enemies. They're mad at you because you groom your son not to be a degenerate and to look at people in the hood and the way they are living, that lifestyle they're living. Right. You tell your son, look, we don't want no part of that. That's degeneracy. That's the life of peasants. Look, we are Israelites. We are sons of the power. We're aristocrats. Okay? We're kings. We're noblemen. All right? And if that's grieving, and then if you have the resources, what are you going to do with your resources?
You're supposed to give them to
your children. If you were worth 60 mil, you going to buy your son a little Hyundai?
No, I'm not.
I'm not.
As long as he ain't a piece of shit.
Yeah, if he's not, I'm not giving my son nothing if he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But if my son is obeying my commandments, I'm giving him
man, he gonna roll he gonna roll better than I.
He gonna be in a Rolls Royce.
He gonna roll better than me, man.
Yeah, he gonna be in a Bentley.
You heard me?
I'm giving him. I'm telling you, he's gonna have filet mignon. He's gonna have man. My son I don't even want him in my house. You're gonna have your own fucking house.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Kingdom shit.
Kingdom. So if that is grievance, if a person looks at that and they disdain that and they hate that, they're a fucking enemy. You raising your son. Look, man, these are royal laws. These aren't just laws. These is royal laws.
This is how to be a king.
This is how you learn to be a king, a prince, a holy man. And if you teaching your son not to worry about the struggle, fuck a struggle. Now it is a struggle to get to the kingdom of heaven. All right, this is the condition of the battle. Give me that 2nd Ezra 7:58.
I got you.
All right, but what we're talking about, when the Lord give you resources, when the Lord has a little mercy on you and let you wet your beak, what are you gonna do with your resources? You gonna share them with your woman and your child. You know what I'm saying? And your akim. And your akim. You know what I'm saying?
The scripture say, man, when you get your money, you spend it with the men of the Lord for the most part, man.
Yeah.
After you pay your tithes, you know.
Yeah. And you're gonna make sure your children have what they need. But we're so cursed, like they say, oh, your parents got you there. I heard that shit in my life, right?
If it
wasn't for your mama, you wouldn't have this. If it wasn't for your daddy, professor this and that, you wouldn't have this. So, I mean, that's how it is for most people.
That's how it is for the upper echelon and the elites.
Mm-hmm. No, I've seen the hypocrisy. Then I see them grow up and do well to do, and end up doing it for their children. So it's just jealousy. That's what the scriptures say. Your eyes shall be evil towards your brother. When we see a brother doing good and handling this shit, we're commending them.
Yeah.
You know, that hate comes from, and I'm gonna tell you, that hate stems from a nigga woman. That jealousy, nigga women be jealous, bro.
You know where
that's not a trait that normally men have.
And it also comes from what? The scriptures in the Apocrypha says, woe to a woman that's jealous of another what? Woman. Now, we're in this truth, and we can teach this truth, and we can push this truth all day long until Isaiah the 4th chapter comes. For the most part, we can't do what with our women? We can't have another woman with our woman, and we pick the best of the worst. They not dealing with that, man. And they push that out throughout the whole nation, man. Okay? And it goes back to jealousy, man.
Now, I will say this, when it comes to women and us in the faith, wisdom teach you how not to deal with a certain woman. Now, mostly no women are going to deal with another woman. But a woman is supposed to, when you get this knowledge, you're not going to live and dwell with a woman that don't respect your mind to the fullest. Now, if you already with the woman before you come to the truth, that's different.
Right.
That's different. All right?
Scripture say don't, yeah.
But if she becomes a hindrance to the faith,
and stop you from doing the works,
and she's hindering you doing the work and growing, you get rid of her ass. But if you don't have a woman and then you start dealing with a woman, first thing though is wise not to deal with a woman like that. That's but right. If you do,
you're right.
And you gonna move in with a broad, and we don't move with in the broads in this faith. We let a broad move in with us.
Come on,
okay. Or if you do go move in and stay overnight with a broad,
you still got your own spot.
You make sure you have your own spot. Okay. You're not gonna do that with a woman that don't respect your mind to the fullest. Like, whoa, love. You got to say that better than that. You're at a 10. I need you to come down to about a 5. When you address me, stay self-controlled. We're not dealing with no rolling of the eyes and pointing of the finger. If you're gonna deal with me, if you think you're gonna deal with me like that, you go your way, I go my way.
Because I can do without you.
And if she really like you and respect you, what's she gonna do? She gonna tone it down. Line, if she be like, fuck all that, you don't even fuck her no more. You just let her go. Put the bitch on block.
Spiritually and mentally and physically.
Yeah. Okay. Give me that.
2nd Ezra 7:58.
Yeah.
2nd Ezra 7:58. That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said.
Go to 57. What does 57 say?
That's what you want too.
Yeah.
That's what you want. Let me check 56.
I think it's 57.
You want 57 for sure.
Yeah.
I like to set the tone sometimes for Salakia. This is 2nd Ezra 7:57. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle.
This is the condition of the battle. Some things we're going to have to deal with. All right? Some things you don't. The more you grow and manifest in this truth, some things you're not going to deal with.
Like?
A nagging nigga bitch woman. You're going to do whatever it takes to get from under that fucking bullshit.
Disrespect for children.
Huh?
And disrespect for children.
Oh, you ain't gonna deal with that. The more you grow in this truth, it's certain things that you can control, you're not gonna deal with it.
A job that tells you
that's why it's written, put a mark upon the men that sign crime for the abominations going on around about them, bro. It's certain things you're not gonna deal with. But in the condition of the battle, certain things, what you gotta deal with an asshole boss, you know? And if you got children, you might have to deal with child support. The condition of the battle, you're going to be put in bad situations, and the Lord want to see how you're going to deal with them. But there's certain things that the more you grow in this truth, you're not going to deal with. You can control the woman you deal with. You picking her. You're making yourself available. You got it, brother.
Well, we're coming into a time where even with your jobs, and we are supposed to take care of ourselves as grown motherfucking men. You understand? But we're coming into a time where I can't hire you unless you have that Cavassier 19. I can't hire you unless you have that Revelation 13 and 16 stuck up in your ass, man. So we are coming into a time where we have to serve Nebuchadnezzar until we can't serve Nebuchadnezzar. You understand? It's spiritual times that we're coming into. It's prophetical times, man. All right? We're coming to the time of the end. We're coming to the time where that family guy, not just that family guy, that fatherly figure, when you see that your son is a piece of shit, when you see that your wife is a piece of shit, when you see that your daughter is a whore, okay? When you see that certain guys are not what they proclaim to be, you have to separate yourself from it. Because if you don't now, it's going to kill you tomorrow, man. Yeah. Right? The scripture says your worst enemies is not going to come from the CIA. It's not going to come from the FBI. It's not going to come from the NSA. It's going to come from within. And when I say within, it's not going to come from you. It's going to come from your children, your woman, your friends,
your mother, your
so-called family. Well, I ain't going to say so-called, your biological family. Because this is my family. That's my family.
So you're right, so-called.
So-called family? And what Apostle Paul said, false brethren. You heard? That's so-called family as well. And the Lord is trimming that fat. The Lord is putting your mind into a time to where it has to become more spiritual than ever. Jake, you got to grow the fuck up. Spiritual men, you have to understand that you are a part of something bigger than you. Let the business that you are a part of be bigger than you. If you don't agree with certain things, if you don't understand certain things, understand what you're a part of and go with the collectiveness versus the individualism. Get your food and your sustenance from the powers that be. When I say the powers that be, from the people that the Lord has set up over you, man. Your elders, the apostles, the bishops.
We learn how to be fathers from our elder brothers. We learn how to rule over our houses from these scriptures and the men that teach us these scriptures. You see what I'm saying? The things I've learned, I learned in the truth. I was content with going to stay at a broad house. You see what I'm saying? I was content, if it don't work here, I'm going to go back to my mama house. I was content when I came to the faith. No, that's why people lie on Great Millstone talking about we bums and we content with living. Man, y'all, that's lies. In Great Millstone, the criteria is have your own place, have a job, and don't live on no woman.
Come on.
You see what I'm saying? Our fathers.
Hey, what you said?
Our fathers.
Work over there.
Yeah. Our fathers taught us that. The elder apostles of Great Millstone taught us that. Okay? And where we at right now, I don't want to deviate from the topic.
All right?
Right,
because that's what it was.
Right. I don't want to deviate from the topic. We learn how to be fathers because our elders and through the scriptures have taught us how to be fathers.
Right.
All right? What's going on here in America is Satanism at a high level, a high frequency. 8 out of 10 women in the so-called Negro community file as heads of household. All right? So 80% of the homes is headed by a woman. Get 1 Timothy 2:10. So let's see what the Bible has to say about that. Let's see what the Holy Bible says about that stat.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 10. But which becometh woman professing godliness.
Come on.
With good works.
And a good work is a woman doing what God created her to do. Be a help to her mate. All right? Those good works that a woman does is her husband tell her, give her certain commands to carry out, and she carries them out. All right? And not grudgingly. That's the good works of a woman. Look, baby, when I come home from work, I expect the bed made up, the floor mopped, the dishes done, food ready. You know what I'm saying? I want to see you in that nightgown that I like. You know what I'm saying? Those are the good works. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
before we go
9 o'clock.
Before we go to sleep, we're gonna pray. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Those are the good works. Bring it out.
If I could say something else to that the spirit, because I had a conversation yesterday, and I had said, the woman gave her opinion, and I was like, look, you know what I'm saying? I depend on you to make sure the house is clean. You know what I'm saying? The food is cooked. If I'm not here, you push the same energy that I push on the children. You push that same energy to the children. I say, furthermore, other than that, your opinion sometimes
your opinion, a woman's opinion,
it don't fucking matter.
Hey, look, and in the West, that's what women don't like men. But look, with alpha males, women eat shit. That one guy, like a women that fuck with Future. If you see a woman with Future, what is she eating? If she got American mindset,
whatever he doing.
No, she's eating shit.
Young boy.
Them niggas ain't listening to no woman opinion.
Right.
Look how they deal with them bitches. Man, I thought a bitch said something. You know what I'm saying? Man, a king don't listen to a woman. A king gives audience to his wife that's in order.
Submissive.
A submissive woman that's in order and that's, I humbly beseech you, your highness. Your queen wants to know if it's permitted that she can gain a small
your
request.
wife, not your queen, your wife,
brother. A small request from you, my lord. A woman like that, you're gonna grant her request. If her actions and her words are linking up,
right,
you're gonna grow a heart for a woman like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She's showing her humility and her submissiveness to you.
Right.
Are you gonna grant her request? You're not gonna ignore her when she got something to say. All right, but let's say a stern matter come up that you feel a woman ain't nothing. We talk about wartime, right?
Right.
I don't want to hear nothing a woman got to say.
Nothing.
What the fuck is we talking? What can you say? My son, he done went out there and this is a hypothetical. A bitch done burnt them, a bitch done gave him crabs or something. What the mama need to be around for? Who we having that talk to? Son, what the Furies say on Boys Look? I told you, use the fucking rubber. Use rubber. Look, son, I told you, this type of broad, you don't fuck with it. What is a woman's opinion in that matter?
Nothing. They don't have
She's actually going to take the side of the other woman because she's a piece of shit too.
She has nothing to say in that matter. Her opinion is null and void. A lot of things in this life, a woman's opinion is null and void, but in America, they give her that opinion. Okay?
Right.
And that interferes with a man raising his son. And when a man sees that his authority is threatened, all right, and he can't use brute force to get his authority, what will a wise man do?
Move around.
He's gonna move a fucking around. Does that mean he's abandoning the family? If he stays, what's gonna happen to him?
It's not me.
He's gonna end up in a dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna end up in jail. A man just gonna sit in the house, woman in there calling them bitches, talking shit to him. He paying the bills. He say, cut off all the lights. I ain't cutting shit off. So a man gonna stay in that?
No.
He's gonna get the fuck if he got any kind of fucking sense. And that's your average American bitch. Trouble, drama.
That's right.
Affliction. You see what I'm saying? That's the westernized mindset for a Negro woman. She thinks she's equal. She thinks she has an opinion. No, the Lord is doing away with that shit. Mm-hmm. When I'm talking to my son, I don't want to hear none of your opinion. That's my son too. Hey, look. Hey, move around. In fact, get out the room, and I'll talk. And you go in your room, and I'll talk to you when I'm done with my son. All right? Now, if that woman bucks up from that, you got a decision to make. You got
it. And to back you up, I saw that movie that was based on the life of Alexander the Freak. All right? And we know that the scriptures says after he came into power, evils will multiply, right?
Right.
Who had a bigger influence on Alexander the Freak, according to that movie? His mother or his father?
His mother.
And it multiplied into what? According to the scriptures? Wickedness, man.
And that's what, when you read up in the book of Maccabees, it say evils will multiply in the earth. That was the birth of Western civilization. And it showed you
Matriarchy.
What her name is, that was the bitch that old boy married. Brad Pitt married Angelina Jolie. She was showing you that westernization, that wickedness of a woman. Huh?
She was a witch in that movie.
She was a witch, but also she was defiant against the power that the Lord gave a man. She was bucking up against him ruling. You see what I'm saying? And that was the birth of it. But look, man, we press for time. So
look, let's just get the curses and we can end it. All right, Baba Kasha?
All right.
Okay, this is give me Deuteronomy 28 and 14, please. Baba Kasha.
Yep. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 14.
And you can read it to 15 because we're gonna close it out in the next 3 minutes.
In Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 14, and thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them.
America is a god, all right? And the things that America pushes is also a god. When you go into the word God, just go into the word power, all right? Go ahead.
And it reads, it says, verse 15, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord, Yahweh thy power, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now let's drop down to verse 33, Baba Kasha.
This is verse 33, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 33.
And this is the reason that we're in the position that we're in, man. But the remnant is still going to fight, and the remnant is going to buck, and the remnant is going to scratch, because we know that we have hope. Right, Akim?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Verse 33, the fruit of thy land, and
32, brother.
This is verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto other people.
How? They're going to be given to other people through education. They're going to be given to other people through step-parents. They're going to be given to other people through single mothers. They're going to be given to other people through Section 8. And you know the rules that follow with that. They're going to be given to other people through unrighteous laws and decrees established by Esau, man. And
if you're not fit to take care of them, they're going to take them and put them up into the system.
And
adoption.
If you are fit to take care of them, they'll still do it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
It says, thy eyes shall look and fell with longing.
Man, I love my motherfucking children. I want to be with my children. You understand me? We don't want to look at our children from afar. With the fucking permed ass hair. The fucking sagging ass pants. Goddamn look, fucking 25 and a 22 hanging out his back pocket. He don't even know how to shoot. Go ahead,
For it say, and fell with longing for them all the day long.
And I ain't seen my daughters in X amount of years. That's Jake's whole lifestyle. That's his whole cry, man. All right? And I'm talking about collectively as a people. We don't have to get individually. Jake ain't seen his kids in X amount of years. Not because he doesn't want to, because Esau empowers the baby mother to be able to have the power to will and use against him. Go ahead.
And there shall be no might in thy hand.
You can't pick up a sword and go get your children, because you end up dead or in jail. And when you go to Romans the 13th chapter, the Lord tells you to what? In so many words, to serve Nebuchadnezzar, man. Okay? So when the title of this video is "We are the best fathers, but we're labeled to be the worst," because the way that you portray these things, Esau, you son of a bitch. Jacob go 20 years without seeing his daughters and his sons, and then finally able to develop a relationship with them when they become adults, because they understand and they see the things, and especially with the sons. Hey, daddy, man, I hated you when I was a teenager, but now that I'm a man and I got my own children, I totally understand. You was never a bad daddy. Now I can't see my kids.
It was that mother.
Go ahead,
Verse 33, the fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not.
Okay, we ain't got to go into that. But basically going into this, the reason that Jake is not able to operate at his full capacity is because of these unrighteous laws and decrees, and also because of the curses that he come under, and they put him under the subjection of Esau's laws and decrees, man. Okay? At the end of the day, that's what it all falls down to, man. Israelite fathers are the best in the world, but we're labeled as the worst, man. If Esau didn't have the court systems to push and give power to Eve, we'll have our children and we wouldn't be in the position that we're in. We wouldn't be following King Von, Little Boosie, and all these young boys, and fucking Scarface, and all these different movies, because the movies are just as bad as the music, man.
Right.
All right. But with that, okay, we hope that this lesson was edifying to someone and somebody, and we're gonna give all infinite honor, praises, and glory to who?
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Harakapadash.
Double honor to those and apostles of great millstone who rule and teach well, unto the other Akimite pushing the truth into the four winds. Keep pushing, Akim. Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
Ba.
Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom, Akim, on the comment board, man.